And that's fine. I get that. That's fine.
Doesn't feel like it's fine. You keep bringing it up.
It's not fine. I'm just saying that it's fine, but it's not fine.
Okay.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Popcorn Bucket List. Depending on when you're watching this, some of Hollywood's most famous and elite actors and actresses may still be hungover from this past weekend.
Very true.
Depending on when you're watching this.
I bet I know a few that are.
Yeah, it's definitely plausible. But yeah, so this weekend, the 95th Academy Awards took place. We did kind of do a little bit of a preview last week. However, technical difficulties and me not having the energy to fix it means that we didn't have an episode last week. So some of the stuff we're going to talk about here is a little bit of a repeat of what you would have saw last week, but we're doing it this week. That's just how it works sometimes.
That's how it is.
So yeah, let's get into the Academy Awards. Obviously, actually before we do that, we do our Oscars challenge every year. This is something we previewed in that last week's episode. We will reveal the winner at the end of this, but we want to talk about the show first. He's really confident. I'm not very confident. I feel like in the past, though, that's worked against us, though. Whichever one of us is least confident has pulled it off. So
true.
I don't know.
Because I was pretty confident. I've been pretty confident every year.
Yeah.
But this year's different, baby.
I do maybe feel like this year is a little different. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Let's just talk about the show first and foremost. We're going to go over some of the biggest moments for us, things that we noticed, some of the biggest winners, etc., etc. So let's see. Let's take a look here. Overall thoughts. I think we both enjoyed the show. Obviously, it didn't meet the 3-hour runtime. It never does. But I didn't think it was too long. And I didn't think there was any parts that dragged, really.
No, I will say one thing because I started it late because I had some prior commitments before, so I wasn't able to watch right away at 7. So I got home probably around 8:30, and I was like, 10 o'clock. I should be able to catch up, hopefully for the last one or two. And no, I did not.
You finally texted me, what was it, like midnight? And you're like, okay, I caught up. Because I would talk to you during the show and you're like, don't spoil anything. I'm like, hopefully he doesn't follow me on Twitter because I did a lot of tweeting.
Yeah. And, but they did a great job. One thing I have to say, I loved that they brought back all the categories. I think if you are nominated for an Oscar, you deserve to get up there and get the chance to do it. Same thing like one of my favorite bands, Ghosts. They won a Grammy and they didn't even show it on the Grammys. And granted, I don't watch the Grammys, but I think if you get nominated for such an award like that, then you should get shown. But,
I mean, how would you feel if you got nominated for makeup and hairstyling? One of the greatest achievements you could make in this industry, and they don't even show it on live TV.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be such a kick in the face.
Yep.
So I agree with you. I'm glad they brought it back. I don't think it really affected the runtime that much.
And there was all the commercial breaks. There wasn't that many commercial breaks.
It really wasn't, no.
And that was nice.
Yeah. Right away, though, I do have to say one little grievance I had about the awards.
Yep.
This is just a little personal thing for me. So when I was coming up with my list of picks for our Oscars challenge, I was going to do it in the order that I thought they were going to present them. Mm-hmm. So that way I could it's easier for me to keep track and keep it along there. So I Googled, see if there was an order of events or whatever. I saw a picture of someone took of the program with the order and everything. I was like, perfect. I got it all ordered out. Right out of the gate, they pulled an audible and they did best animated feature, which was third or fourth in the program, and then it was just all over the place.
Yep.
So right away I was a little annoyed at that. But that was my only grievance. But let's talk about a few of the first awards here. Obviously, best animated feature. That was a shoe-in.
Yeah.
That was that was an easy pick for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Yep. And I did see Puss in Boots recently, and that was really good.
It's a good second.
Yeah, it's a very good second. And but yeah, Pinocchio, hands down.
Not a close second, but it's a good solid second in
that
running.
And I liked his speech too about animation is film.
Yes.
Keep this relevant.
Yeah.
I really like that. That was a good speech.
But speaking of good speeches, let's talk about the supporting actor and actress categories. So this is something I found very fascinating. Ke Huy Quan. He wins an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. He's been in the business for nearly 40 years. Finally got an award. Then they follow it up with Jamie Lee Curtis winning for Best Supporting Actress. She's been in the business for nearly 50 years and finally got herself her very first Oscar of all time. The theme here is never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Yep.
This was, but on a serious note, Ke Huy Quan's speech, that gave me goosebumps, man.
Mm-hmm.
It legitimately gave me goosebumps. Like, you could feel the emotion. Like, this was 40 years of work leading to this moment.
Yep.
You know, he did the usual stuff. He thanked his mom. He pointed at the camera. Was like, don't ever give up on your dreams. Like, I felt that. I felt like he was talking to me. Me and Key, we're best buds now because of that. And then following up with Jamie Lee Curtis's speech, which I found was funny, she said, quote, "We are all Oscar winners here." So on behalf of the myself and Ryan, I'd like to thank the Academy. We are now also, I expect my trophy in the mail.
Yep.
Everyone who watched the broadcast, we are all Oscar winners.
Yep. You can put yours on the desk. Mine will go up here on top of the popcorn machine.
Yep.
So
those will just show up sooner rather than later, probably.
No rush, but the sooner the better.
We get it. The Academy's busy.
Yep.
Whenever you send it to us.
Busy time.
But Jamie Lee Curtis said it. We're all Oscar winners,
Yes.
so I expect my trophy sometime within the foreseeable
soon.
future.
Yes.
So the other thing I noticed about this show, and I'm curious what your thoughts on it, this might have been one of the more competitive Oscars I feel like we've had in a while when you look at all the categories.
Yes.
Which is a really good thing. Because that meant there was a lot of great cinema this past year. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot that I kind of looked at. And at first I was like, oh, this will probably be the winner. And then I look at it again. I was like, well, this one could. This one could. There were multiple categories where I was like, okay, 3 or 4, maybe even all 5 easily could win these.
Yes.
And the first one I noticed that was Best Production Designer. Mm-hmm. I believe All Quiet won that one. However, I could have seen pretty much all of them potentially get that one, really.
Production design?
Yes.
Yes, I actually, looking back, I picked Avatar: The Way of Water, and looking back, I think that I should have picked All Quiet. But yes, that was one that I got wrong. But yeah, All Quiet was fantastic. They had a good night.
They had a really good night.
I loved that film. I didn't think it was going to be as winning as it was.
4 wins overall. I believe that was either second or tied for second for most wins of the night overall. Yep. Good night for them. Good night for Netflix, really, overall.
Yeah, great night. And A24.
And 84, yes, very good point. Obviously, we'll get more and more into this, but Everything Everywhere All at Once, also a big winner.
Yep.
In fact, actually, let's just kind of move into that. Let's move into what's kind of known as the Big 5 categories. Technically, it's 6. But there's like a goal for a movie to win the Big 5. Mm-hmm. And what that basically means is you would have to win directing, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Picture, and you would have to win either Best Original Screenplay or Adapted Screenplay. You can't be nominated for both because those are 2 wildly separate categories. Yep. There's a point to that. So if you win one of those 2 and then the other 4, you get the Big 5.
Yep.
For reference, and I can't remember them all off the top of my head, 3 have only ever done it in the history of the Oscars. I can't remember the number 2, unfortunately, but I know one of them was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That was one that won the Big 5.
Do you know who else probably?
It was not. No. It was not. No.
No?
It was
you
not.
sure? They won 11.
I know.
They won 11.
It wasn't that one. It wasn't that one.
Well,
I don't remember the other 2, but I know it wasn't that one. And I'm not going to give you that moment. But a movie this year that won 4 out of the Big 5, Everything Everywhere All at Once. The only one that it didn't win in was Best Actor. It didn't even have a nomination in that one. But let's talk about Best Actor.
Ooh.
I had picked Austin Butler. I would have been fine with Colin Farrell, but Brendan Fraser takes it. Yep. I am more than happy with this.
I picked Brandon Fraser because I haven't even seen the movie yet, but the people that I trust about their film, when they see films and give reviews, like people that I like to listen to, had absolutely nothing but the best things to say. And I want to see this movie so bad. And just the clips that I've seen, the emotion that he portrays, and just kind of knowing him and his story and everything that's I loved him when I was younger, watching Encino Man, the Mummy movies, Airheads. Like, I really liked Brandon Fraser, and then it was just kind of, he was gone.
The Brendan Fraser revolution has begun. Viva la revolution!
Yes, it's
does that
happening.
mean we finally get Batgirl? Man, come on,
You never know.
Is he bankable yet, Hollywood? Come on, Warner Brothers.
Just
What
release
else,
it.
What else do we need to show you that this movie will do good?
Even if you just put it out on Paramount, is that their
Theirs would be HBO Max.
HBO? Put it out on HBO Max.
Send me a direct DVD copy. I promise I won't show anyone.
Yeah, let's watch it.
I definitely will show people. But don't you can mail it with my Oscar, and then if you just happen to sneak a copy of that in there too, I won't judge you for it. But yeah, huge win for him. Another super emotional speech. This might have been, and I don't mean this in a bad way, this might have been the Oscars with the most waterworks.
Yep. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up a little bit.
Yeah.
Not for multiple reasons of this Oscars, but when people were talking and telling a story of what they were saying, there was a couple of times I got a little.
There were
little
some good
choked
ones.
up.
There were some good winners here.
Yeah.
Good winners all night. But let's move into Best Actress. I would say Best Actor was super competitive. This one was even more clear 50-50 split, I feel like.
Yeah.
I guess the advantage went to Michelle Yeoh, kind of from what I was hearing and everything, but Cate Blanchett could have easily come in and taken this award as well. However, Michelle Yeoh ends up taking the award, takes the victory, becoming the first ever Asian woman to win Best Actress at the Oscars in the history of the Oscars.
Oh.
I think she did the same thing at the Golden Globes. So yeah, history being made there. I feel like that's been a theme these last few years.
Yeah.
Finally, some history's been being made,
Yeah.
and some new winners are coming to light here, and that's kind of what you want to see.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
It's good to see that in this program of 95 years, there are still surprises. There's still boundaries being broken and everything. Some of them you wish had been broken a little bit sooner, obviously, but, better late than never, I guess, if that's a positive. I don't know. But let's see. Some final thoughts on the show. One thing I guess I should mention that I found interesting that I read up on. 3 of some of the bigger movies with a lot of nominations came home empty-handed. Came home with nothing.
Yes.
The king of rock and roll, but 0 at the Oscars. That's right. Elvis got nothing. Tar also coming away with no awards, and also Banshees of Inisherin. That one probably hurt me the most.
Yeah.
I thought at least there was a few here that I was betting on, like, it's got to get like a supporting or like a director, something here.
Yeah.
Writing. I don't know. I really enjoyed that one, but big fat 0.
Zeros.
How about you? What are some of your final thoughts on the show overall?
My thoughts, I think A24, this was huge for them, not only because Everything Everywhere All at Once, that was A24. There's another film that was A24. Was The Whale A24?
I think The Whale was, yeah.
I think that Whale was A24. So now, as that company, you have multiple Oscar winners just this year, and also huge for Netflix. Netflix, and it was funny that all of this is about getting people to the theater, doing all this, and a bunch of those shows are on Netflix already, and the only way I saw All Quiet on the Western Front was from Netflix, and so it was interesting. Obviously talking about the theater, and then the whole James Cameron and
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the monologue a little bit. I feel like, there was a couple jabs at James Cameron and Tom Cruise. And to Jimmy Kimmel's credit, he also kind of pointed out, these are 2 titans of the industry who brought in a lot of money, kind of saved the theaters, and encouraged everyone to come back to the theaters, but couldn't be bothered to show up at the theater.
Yeah. And I thought that was funny. That was clever. And
Not as many slap jokes as I thought there was going to be.
No,
let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah, there was a couple Will Smith jokes, and some of them I thought were really clever, really good. And then there was a few. There was more. Actually, there was more than I thought there was going to be.
There was more.
But then after the monologue, I was like, "Oh, there's going to be littered tonight." And no, there really wasn't.
I thought there was going to be. I thought there was going to be more for sure.
And the couple of them were really good.
Yeah.
And the donkey was funny.
But that donkey is a pretty big part of that Banshees movie too, though. So
Yeah.
I was kind of glad to see the donkey back. So, Should we just get into this? Let's just see who won.
Let's get
Third
into
annual. I have won 2. You have won none. Let's see if that changes today. So for those of you out there who maybe missed out before or couldn't see last week's episode because it didn't go out, basically every year we present this challenge. We look at the nominations. We each pick who we think is going to win. The one with the most amount of correct picks picking wins. Did I say that right? I feel like I made that sound more complicated than it needed to be.
I think it sounded great.
Cool. All right. So how we usually do this, we raise our hands. If I say the number you still have correct, you keep them raised. As soon as you no longer have that number correct, you put your hand down. He's looking over it. Double check. Double count.
All right.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a little nervous this year, folks.
You should be.
I feel like I am. All right. 1 correct. 2 correct. 3 correct.
Do you need to stop?
4.
Do you need to slow down?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
18.
You had 18 correct?
18 correct.
Dang it.
And I have photo proof.
I don't doubt you.
Yeah. No, the ones that I completely shot in the dark, most of them ended up being right. That I was like, I have absolutely no idea. Like the short film and the short film live action and short film animation, no idea.
Yeah.
And just shot in the dark, boom.
I feel like that's how I've beaten you in the past. Are those ones with the littlest number and you just kind of shoot and you just get those randomly?
Yeah. But then I messed up, like, digital score. I went with the Fablemans because
you were going for that Williams thing.
I was like, oh, perfect. That's it. All Quiet on the Western Front. Dun, dun, dun. I love that, and I loved hearing it throughout the whole night. But then I was like, yeah, I messed up.
I don't know why. That's actually when I got right. And then when we got to that award and I was seeing the nominees, I was like, wait, why did I pick All Quiet?
Yeah.
And then they ended up winning. I was like, I picked All Quiet.
Yeah. Let's see. What else I get wrong?
Here's what really made me mess up. I got the first one right with animated feature. And then I was in a dry spell for about an hour's worth of the show. At least an hour's worth of it. Maybe an hour and a half. I just was not hitting any of them at all.
Yeah.
And then finally towards the end, like All Quiet, like we said before, kind of had that run there where it got like 3 in a row. Like I picked All Quiet and those like 3 in a row. And then I was picking all my Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then those started finally winning and everything. Yeah. And that's when I was like, okay, we're picking it back up. But I was I missed the mark on so many early ones.
Because where were the ones, I thought for sure the ones where Everything Everywhere All at Once lost. I thought I was going to get those wrong.
Yeah. There wasn't a lot that it lost. I think visual effects and maybe like makeup and hairstyling were like 2 of
makeup
them.
and hairstyle. I got that one wrong. I went with All Quiet on the Western Front for, when he's.
I went on the Elvis for that one.
Yeah, I went All Quiet, and it turned out to be the whale, and it was like, what? So that kind of irked
my
me.
problem with that one, or my thinking on that one was with Elvis, like it was multiple people that were like kind of dressed up and maked up and everything. With the whale, yeah, it's a very convincing bodysuit. Don't get me wrong, but it's just the one guy.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, really? That's where we picked the whale on? Okay.
And then I got adapted screenplay wrong because this is my wheelhouse. So I kind of went spotty with ones I was confident and kind of worked down to ones I didn't know or didn't think. And I thought they haven't done Top Gun for anything. So I actually went with Top Gun. And no, women talking. And like when they got to that.
When it comes to a writing category, you have to pick the one with the most dialogue, dude.
I know. And when they got to that one.
It's got talking in the name.
Yeah. When they got to it, I looked down like, why did I pick that? Like, same thing with you. Like, as soon as they get to it, it's like, that was no chance. No chance.
I don't think I picked Top Gun for any of them, and I was kind of surprised it got sound. Like, if I'm going to be honest. I had All Quiet on that one, too, and I don't know. I didn't think I was going to win any, so. Yeah, all right. Well, We'll have to discuss some movie-themed punishment.
Yeah.
It's now occurring to me that maybe if I had spent less time coming up with my victory graphic that I was going to put up here and spent a little bit more time on research and not gotten as cocky, maybe I could have won this one again. But yeah, 18 right. That's a pretty good number. That's a pretty good number.
All my sources that I could find. I went and looked at the Golden Globes, the BAFTAs, looked at all of that.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Now I've got a graphic of me photoshopped onto Michael Jordan that will not be used.
No, you can still use it. I want to see it. Just take out winner, put loser. But I will say I do have one gripe with the Oscars this year. They didn't, first off, the Northman.
There it is.
Didn't get anything. And that's fine. I get that. That's fine.
Doesn't feel like it's fine. You keep bringing it up.
It's not fine. I'm just saying that it's fine, but it's not fine.
Okay.
But I was hoping for at least a joke or a something, but it didn't happen.
Maybe it's because nobody really saw that movie.
True, but I think if you're a true film lover, you'll watch that movie. Eat that, Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg's probably seen The Northman.
Yeah, he probably.
I feel like out of anyone in that room, Spielberg would have seen that.
Actually, I heard that's why Tom Cruise and James Cameron weren't there because The Northman got snubbed.
That's not
and
true.
They were standing in solidarity.
That's
what
not
I
true.
Heard. That's what I heard.
That's not.
I don't know if
yeah,
it's
you
true.
heard it from your own lips as you said it, and now you're hearing it in live time.
It doesn't mean it's true, but I heard it.
It 100% means it's not true, is what that means.
All
right.
Yeah, it was good, though.
If you like that conversation, be sure to check back here this Thursday for our regular show where we talk about the weekly preview, all the latest releases and everything like that, and we give our number one recommends in the world of movies, TV shows, and video games.